Hey ladies, how's it going? Dan Frampton here, and today we're going to talk about the Minor Threat Nike controversy that I spoke about in a more recent video. And those aren't two words that you normally hear in the same sentence, Nike and Minor Threat, but it happened, and today we're going to go through the whole thing, because it led me down quite a rabbit hole that I wasn't expecting. This thing gets so turbulent and so goofy that I just had to make a full-fledged video out of it. But first, some context. Minor Threat were a hardcore band in the early 80s that popularized straight edge and the DIY movement in DC. The frontman, Ian MacKaye, would go on to found Dischord Records. Ian MacKaye was so strict about his drug-free lifestyle and his anti-corporate attitude that it was basically his entire identity. So when Nike comes along and does this, you know Ian MacKaye is getting a touch pissed off. So in the first portion of this image, we get the album cover for the first two 7-inches, Minor Threat by Minor Threat. The guy in the picture is Ian MacKaye's brother, and he's wearing just some combat boots and some ratty clothes, and this iconography is just that, iconic. So iconic that skateboarders have loved this record since it came out. So when Nike in 2005 were going on this little tour that was going to end in DC, they thought it would be appropriate to appropriate this image. They claimed it was by skateboarders and for skateboarders, and in skateboarder culture, it's common to just like use tracks over their clips or whatever, so I think they thought it was coming from that same mindset, but this is Nike. This isn't some skater-operated brand or whatever. This is the top corporate brand in the entire world that sells shoes. And if using the image wasn't to piss off enough, all the subtle changes that they make to it are just like infuriating, especially if you're Ian MacKaye. So let's start from the top and go down. First, you get the head resting on the arms. The bald head, that's there. But this ratty ass fucking shirt is replaced by this, I don't know, it looks like a nice little leather jacket, I guess, I don't know. Okay, whatever. And then these like work pants are replaced by these nice jeans with the logo just on the knee, Nike SB, not cool. And then these beautiful combat boots that it look like they're hanging on by their last thread. They look like they've actually been through the trenches of World War I. Just the footwear alone over here tells a whole story. And then you jump over to the Nike image and you know, he's just got on a pair of Nikes, whatever. And then the last major difference is Minor Threat here, Major Threat there. I don't know why you needed to do that. Major Threat. And then not only did you rip off the iconography of this amazing album cover, you took their logo and just like totally pissed all over it, Nike. Major Threat over here underneath these 3 X's. You don't believe in anything that stands for those 3 X's, Nike. You can't be just plastering that all willy-nilly all over your fucking posters. Those X's mean something to people. And I happen to be recording this video on Edge Day, and I'm pissed off for all my Edge brothers and sisters. Me, myself, I'm not personally straight edge, but this album is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. So as a guy like Ian MacKaye, seeing that sort of thing, you want to get those lawyers involved because they've stolen your stuff. But I'm not exactly sure if it got that far. But I do know, however, once Ian brought it to the attention of Nike, they issued an official apology. So let's go on over to Pitchfork for a 2005 article that details the whole thing. I just want to focus on the Nike apology, but the last part of the article is something I want to read, that it's unclear if Dischord will pursue further action against Nike. No responses to the letter have been made by MacKaye or anyone else at Dischord. Here's the apology in full. June 27th, 2005. To Minor Threat, Dischord Records, and fans of both. Nike Skateboarding sincerely apologizes for the creation of a tour poster inspired by Minor Threat's album cover. Despite rumors being circulated, Whedon and Kennedy and Otopod had nothing to do with the creation of this tour poster and should not be held accountable. To set the record straight, Nike Skateboarding's Major Threat tour poster was designed, executed, and promoted by skateboarders for skateboarders, so it should be okay. All of Nike employees responsible for the creation of the tour flyer are fans of both Minor Threat and Dischord Records and have nothing but respect for both. Minor Threat's music and iconographic album cover have been the inspiration to countless skateboarders since the album came out in 1984. Oh, you're really such big fans, are you, Nike? 1984 is when the record came out. Was it, Nike? Big fans, I bet you are. All members of Nike Skateboarding staff, this is no different. Because of the album's strong imagery and because our East Coast tour ends in Washington, D.C., we felt it was the perfect fit. Well, guess what? It wasn't. This was a poor judgment call and should not have been executed without consulting Minor Threat and Dischord Records. Both of those things are the same person. You could just say Ian MacKaye there. We apologize for any problems this may have caused, and we want to make it very clear that we have no relationship with the members of Minor Threat, Dischord Records, and they have not endorsed our products. You don't say. Every effort has been made to remove and dispose of all the flyers, both print and digital. Yeah, I bet you're calling up all the people that have flyers, burn them immediately. Let's set up a vigil, I don't know. Again, Nike Skateboarding sincerely apologizes to Minor Threat and Dischord Records. And then the word sincerely again, Nike Skateboarding. If you couldn't tell, they're very sincere. They're so sincere, in fact, that they have to tell you multiple times how sincere they're being. And that's how you can tell how sincere someone is. When they're like, hey, guess what? I'm a real genuine person that's being real sincere right now. You can trust me. Fuck you, Nike, you piece of shit. So that's the Nike Minor Threat story. But this is a rabbit hole video. This goes down, well, not that many more layers, only a couple more layers, but enough layers that I got surprised. The first layer is in 2013, Rolling Stone released this article. Ian MacKaye approves Urban Outfitters Minor Threat apparel. And I'm thinking, okay, he got really, really mad at Nike for, doing the whole being Nike thing, but Urban Outfitters is just cool to sell their stuff? That doesn't seem like the Ian MacKaye that I know. Minor Threat shirts are now on sale at Urban Outfitters for a cool $28. Frontman Ian MacKaye is fine with it. The hardcore punk tastemaker, who also fronts Fugazi, told Washington City Paper that the store's shirts for the 80s punks are licensed, legitimate merch. Yeah, okay. MacKaye explains that his label, Dischord, doesn't make the shirts, but the amount of bootlegged Minor Threat merchandise prompted him to take action. It's fucking absurd the amount of bootlegs that are out there, MacKaye said. So he set up Dischord with California company T-Shirt, spelled T-S-U-R-T, to print official tees. Now any bootleggers are T-shirts' problem instead of his. My time is better spent doing other things, MacKaye says. I love Ian MacKaye, he's just the most stubborn person in the world. Though MacKaye's music has long taken volatile social and economic stands, he said he had different motivations for creating the apparel. It's not a political thing for me, he says, adding that he once invested lots of time and energy into tracking down bootleggers only for it to be a complete waste of time. His reasoning was direct. I just don't give a fuck about t-shirts. It's not about the t-shirts. It's not about the cloth that this thing is printed on. It is just a way for you to connect with your audience, for them to feel closer to you. That's what the whole merchandise thing is supposed to do. MacKaye, you're crazy. MacKaye has dealt with bootleggers and unauthorized merchandise before. According to Pitchfork, Dischord struck back against Forever 21 for carrying unlicensed Minor Threat shirts in 2009. Oh my god, if you have Forever 21 Minor Threat shirts, you're a very, very lucky person. And then they talk about the Nike thing, of course, which is why this is a rabbit hole. It's all tied together. Other artists have handled similar situations recently, according to BBC. Yeah, like Rihanna, who won a $5 million lawsuit against Topshop for this kind of thing. So then you're thinking, okay, Ian MacKaye, $28 t-shirts. I went to walmart.com and searched t-shirt, and by George, yep, Minor Threat came up. But I was looking for $28, which back in the day in 2013 was astronomical. But now, I wonder what he would say seeing $102, $118, $126 underneath Minor Threat merch. That is ridiculous. That is price gouging, and that's unfair. That's, I don't know, unethical. And for a guy whose whole thing is ethics, you gotta understand that this represents something. This isn't just a t-shirt. This is a t-shirt with your iconography on it selling for over $100, which is kind of the polar opposite of the whole punk ethos thing, is it not? The more ethical thing to do in this case is just let the bootleggers bootleg. Sure, you're not getting any of the money, but it shouldn't be about that. You're Ian MacKaye. Just looking at this page, seeing a Bad Religion shirt going for $126 and a Pearl Jam baby onesie for $104, you know you're not dealing with a very ethical company. So I looked up t-shirt, T-S-U-R-T. And on Google, they have a cool 1.2 star rating out of 23 reviews. And these reviews are all about having their artwork taken down, but the cringy dramatic thing that happens here is that the owner actually responds to the people calling them out. Which I'm not sure if you're familiar with Optics t-shirt, which you can't be because you have a Minor Threat shirt going for $126. The optics on that are ridiculous. You're out here getting ratioed in your own review section. So what started out over here with the most wholesome, oh, here's Jack down here with the Punk Historian. Go check out this video if you haven't yet. Very good video. Very ethical, very clean band called Minor Threat that people look up to for those kinds of values, all the way to the very, very other end of the spectrum with T-Shirt LLC. Ian is such a goat that this is not going to affect his legacy whatsoever, and he does have one of the best reputations going. This is just a little tiny stain on that legacy, and it's not done in a way where it's like, Ian exposed, you know? It's just like a little bit of a quirky little rabbit hole. And I thought that rabbit hole was a fun little one to go down. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and until my next upload, watch another upload.